My experience. Back in 1989, I was reading a couple of books about meditation. I was a little over a year removed from college, MIT, and I was seeking enlightenment, or at least an experience that would show me if it existed. I would meditate for a couple of hours every night. My job had flexible hours, unsteady pay, but I could set the hours, so if I meditated from midnight till 2 every night, I could go into work at 10 without an issue. Anyway, I was meditating one night and thought stopped. Completely, totally. Not a single word. After sitting in this utter stillness for an unknown period of time, I thought, wow. The words kind of lit up in my brain, and again I sat in this peaceful, blissful silence. You don't know how loudly and how incessant thought is until it ceases. Although being recently trained in science, aerospace engineering, this was a unique investigation I had been engaged in from my early teens, a search which most scientists would not be able or willing to follow as I did. So I had found this amazing stillness. I was experiencing being without thinking. Then I heard an airplane overhead. I felt the sound within me, and then I heard the sudden click of the furnace coming on outside my room. In that instant, my consciousness expanded to encompass the entire room and more. I literally became the air, the sounds, the closet door and the closet, the walls, the ceiling, everything. I was a living part of all of it, and it was within me. The thought, wow, how could I ever have thought I was this tiny body and mind, came up, then subsided. I was awake. I had lived my life sound asleep and didn't even know it, but I was finally awake. I stayed in the place where I was one with my surroundings until the thought, this is great. I wonder how long it will last. I became interested in the thought, and the next, and zoom. My consciousness was sucked back into my body. I lay down and basked in knowing the truth, in validating what I had read about for many years. I had finally had a transcendent experience, and more importantly, had an experience of who I really was that was more real than the life I had led up until that moment. As amazing as the meditation was, I had the same experience again the next night of meditation. This time validated questions that had arisen during the day. I knew I was not dreaming or imagining, but it was a real experience of truly living. It woke me up to a sense that what I had been reading was real. There is a place, accessible to all, that can touch something much larger and more real than most of us could ever dream.